began to flourish. Weijian Shan was among the first group of Chinese students to study in the US. He now runs PAG, a private equity firm in Asia. Shan's new autobiography, Out of the Gobi, tracks his path from manual labour during Mao Zedong's era to the top of the business world. I spoke with him earlier. Weijian Shan, thank you very much indeed for joining me. How closely has your own success mirrored the rise of China?
I was born a few years after the founding of the People's Republic. I went through all the major events in the modern history of China. My book, Out of the Gobi, is my story about China and America. But I basically lived through the modern era of China, from dire poverty to where it is today.
Would it have been possible to achieve what you did without having gone through the Cultural Revolution and the hardships you endured?
I think without that period of time, China and myself probably would have done much better, because it was a long period of time when China was stuck in poverty and in ignorance. You know, people in my generation, including myself, were denied education for 10 long years when schools were all shut. I was out of school when I was 12 years old, and I didn't see school again until 10 years later. So it was an unfortunate period of time, but of course we learned very bitter lessons from it.
What would you say is the biggest challenge facing China now?
I would say that China has developed to today's status in the past 40 years by moving away from old economic system, which you may describe as centrally planned economic system, very similar to the former Soviet Union, to more of a market economy where the private sector is thriving. In order for China to move further, to develop further, China needs to go down the road of the market even further. And that is to say, more economic reforms, more marketization, more private sector, and smaller state-owned sector. And I would like to see that happen, and that is where we focus our investments on.
What impact is the tariff war having on this development, and do you see it coming to an end anytime soon?
I think China has benefited a great deal from its open door policy, which started 40 years ago, and China has benefited from international trade, and for a long time, trade has been a main engine of China's economic growth. And I would say that China's trading partners have benefited from that relationship as well, including the United States. Trade is better than no trade. More trade is better than less trade from the point of view of an economist. And I think trade war hurts everyone, harms everyone. And I hope that two countries, between China and the United States, will quickly find a solution to resolve their differences so that they can move on and perhaps do more trade.
Weijian Shan, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you.